Hey, what's up? I'm Sueco The Child, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live. It says it right here. I didn't forget.
Let's talk about this new project, debut project that dropped on Atlantic. Atlantic is your new home nowadays, so talk to me about this project and the creative process behind it.
Well, so the whole purpose of the project was to show everyone different sides of myself, like all the different aspects. Because if you're coming from the song Fast, then you like have a certain idea of what I am. But a lot of my music, like there's singing music, there's like more rock like music. There's a guitar song on Miscreant called Novocaine. It's a whole bunch of different sounds that fully represent who I am. So that's what the purpose of the project was. And creatively, it was just whatever I was feeling, I just made it.
Yeah. Now you come from like being a producer as well, so how different was it this time around being able to co-produce your record now that you kind of have a bigger team behind you?
It's dope to have other input.
Yeah.
A lot like most things now I'm co-producing with other people
Okay.
because like the not always but a lot of the time the more heads the better.
Right.
Like the more experienced heads that know what the fuck they're doing,
Right.
the better, because there's different ideas, you can bounce different things around, certain people are better at certain things, and then when you recognize that, you can work together to make the best product. So it's dope.
Now I feel like it was Kenzine was his name, right? Kenzine was your producer for Fast. Did he kind of jump in on this project as well, or was that the only track that you kind of worked with him?
No, he also worked on Dork.
Okay.
That was that's like the other song we have a music video for now.
Yeah. Just dropped actually recently.
Yeah. And wait, did he produce anything else on the? I don't think so. I think it was just Fast and Dork.
Okay.
But no, I work with him a lot.
So
Like,
what was it about him, like the first time that you kind of collaborated with him? Like, what was it about him that, you kind of liked his vibe or you liked the way that he worked that you brought him in for, a second track?
he's just really cool, and he makes really good melodies. That's how we work. Is he'll make melodies, and I'll make the drums and 808.
Yeah.
That's when me and him work like together. That's how we work. Generally speaking.
Now you mentioned earlier this album kind of has different styles of sound and or sounds, from like acoustics to like rock to drums and stuff like that. Like, what kind of inspires all of this stuff? Like, I know you were in a hardcore band before, like you grew up from that. So like, what kind of like inspired you to kind of bring that back, and how did you go from hardcore to like this rap world today?
I always listen to rap just because of where and who I grew up around.
Yeah.
And I was kind of the weird one for listening to like punk and shit. So it was a natural transition for me, going from hardcore music to taking rap a little bit more seriously. I started making like beats when I was 17, and it was around that time where I started taking like rapping more seriously, because I was always the kid that like had like the pen and like banging on the tables, and I was playing the drums.
That annoying little kid in school.
Yeah, but that was me for sure. That was me, the annoying little kid in school. But yeah, all the, like the there was always the freestyle circles or whatever, and I'd either have the pen like playing the drums for everybody, or I'd be like beatboxing for everybody. So, yeah.
So did you teach yourself how to kind of beatbox while you were in the studio, or is it something that you kind of tried out over and over?
I'm terrible at beatboxing. Like, I would just do it because like somebody needed to do it for people to rap on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna do it right now. It's poop ass terrible. Yeah, no, that is not one of my skills that I would list as a skill of mine.
No, I love that you added the track Novocaine on there, because it kind of brings it back to your old hardcore days in a sense. Like towards the end, you're kind of like grunging a little bit.
Yeah.
What was the creative process for that song in particular?
I was really sad in an old studio that I used to work at, / record at / was signed to like a management deal with them. And I was in the studio. I don't even know what time it was, but I was just in a terrible mental space, and I just felt like I needed to get the fuck out. And that's what the song is about. Yeah. It's about that feeling of needing to get the fuck out. Right. And I just picked up my guitar and I just started playing. Like I probably wrote it in like 15 minutes. Damn. It didn't take very long. Usually, like once you catch the vibe, whatever you're working on, it comes super easy.
Right. Do you have like a formula for songs, like how you create songs, or does each song kind of happen differently for you?
It always starts with the sound first. So if it's like a guitar song, then it'll start with whatever the fuck chords I'm playing, and then like I'll think of the melody. Usually I think of the melody first. Like I'll hum the melody in my brain, and then I'll find the words to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then same thing with like the more of the rap shit. Like it'll always be the beat or something sonically interesting happens with the beat or the sounds that makes me go, oh shit, I need to make this, because. Like, I only think there's like maybe like 3 or 4 records I've ever done where people just sent me the beat and I just went on it. Yeah. Like 95% of the time I'm involved somehow with the creation of it, because like that's just how my brain works with making it. Like I need to make the sonics first, and then like I start thinking of everything else, like what to say on it. Right. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. Now, when you're creating your beats, like, do you have, are you thinking, or are you listening to other music as well, or do you try and like be away from music as possible?
When I'm making stuff,
when you're kind of starting to create music.
No, it's all. You always take influence from other things. Yeah. No matter what, at the end of the day, music comes from other music. There's not anything that's completely and totally 100% fucking original. Right. Everything at the end of the day becomes your own voice and your own way of saying things or using things, but everything comes from somewhere else. Right. And I think to ignore that it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Now, I feel like when artists are starting to, figure out who they are as an artist and how they're going to deliver their music, like I feel like that's a challenge in itself. Like, how did you learn how to do the delivery that you do with your lyrics?
Is that a natural thing for you? I don't know. I would like the delivery and what, like the singing or the rap, or
just like everything? The way that you basically everything. But like, how did you say, this is the sound for Sueco?
I don't know. I just kept doing shit, and then something would sound cool, and then I'd go from there. And it would be the combination of this is how I feel, and also this sounds cool. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it needs to fucking sound cool. So it's about both of those things, because it sounding cool is what's going to make people listen, but it feeling a certain way and making people feel a certain way is what's going to keep them around, right, or make them want to listen to it again.
So what did you think? Like, why did you think these tracks that you released recently are like the best way to kind of introduce the world to your music?
Because it's a whole bunch of it's just varied shit, and up until that point, that was some of the best records I ever made. A lot of what I'm making now is some crazier shit, because I've been working with some crazy producers recently. Nice. I'm not gonna say no names right now, because we don't know what's gonna be on the next project. But I've been working with a lot bigger producers, and it's really dope to have input from other people. And I don't even know where I was fucking going with that. But I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to do this interview.
Do you feel like there was a specific song that kind of challenged you during the recording process, or like even the whole project as a whole that kind of challenged you?
Of Miscreant?
Yeah.
No, it's funny. That song Novocaine, like at that bridge section, like I was just because originally I didn't like scream it, like when I like wrote it. Yeah. It was just I kind of just repeated it. But then when I would record it, like because when I played it sounded cool, but like when I recorded it, it was just something missing. And then Jarrell, he was in the room with me. Jarrell Ware, he was just like, dude, you just gotta like scream that shit, like. And I was like, you think? And I'm like, nah, I can't do that shit. He's like, just do that shit, like just close your eyes, get into that mode. And I remember I was in the booth, and I just closed my eyes, and I just got super fucking angry and like sad, and it just came out of me. It was a one take. Like everything after like the second hook, that entire like last minute 30 seconds was like the first try.
Damn. Was that the only track that you had a lot of first tries on there?
No, actually, it's crazy. Like generally speaking, most of my takes will happen in the first 1 to 3 takes, or else I'm gonna go like this shit doesn't sound cool.
That's fast.
Yeah, or like so if it don't happen like in the first couple of takes, usually I'll like kind of go back to the drawing boards, and I'll go, okay, what's not sounding cool, or like try to switch it up, or like try to rewrite something. That's just, I don't know why. Usually, well, it's because when you put yourself into the mental space or emotional space that is required to make that song, at least for myself, once I put myself into that place, it's pretty easy to like give the take that needs to be recorded, if that makes sense. It's just about putting yourself into that place. And so if you're in that place and it's not sounding good, then there's something not right. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. That does make sense. Now, the EP's out, or the album is out now. Newly signed, like I said, to Atlantic Records. You have a show tonight. Like, what else, is in the works for you? Any more performances that you have going on?
Yeah, we got a show. What is it? The third in Chicago, the 5th in Toronto, and the 6th in New York City. I think in November. I hope I got that right. I think I got that right. I'm working on more music right now.
Okay.
I think that's the main. Lucas, is there anything else I need to say?
I was just checking the dates.
Yeah. Okay, I said the right dates.
3rd, 5th, and 6th. Yeah.
I said the right dates.
Nice.
Yeah, cool.
Now, when can we possibly expect some kind of collaboration with Beabadoobee? Did I say that name right?
How did you? What the fuck? Explain. How did you find?
Well, she just dropped Space Cadet today, so I mean.
Fool, how do you know? How do you know that I fuck with her music? Oh, you did your research.
So is there any plans for collaboration? Maybe like doing something with her?
That would be super dope.
She's in town tomorrow.
That'd be motherfucker. I'm going. That would be super dope. You really did your research. That is holy shit. Okay, yeah, no, that would be fucking crazy, because it's like from the outside looking in, it's two different worlds.
Yeah.
Like me and her, but like I don't know, from myself looking outside, if that makes sense, it's the same shit.
It is.
Because it's all just music.
Right. What is it about her that caught your attention?
I don't know. It's just that shit sounds fucking great. It sounds like a little angel singing. Like that shit sounds so good. I don't even remember how I first found that shit, but I found that shit and then I was just like bumping all her music like for like a week straight. That was the only thing I was listening to.
Well, like I said, the EP dropped today, so you'll be bumping that too.
I heard that shit already. Yeah. I listened to it. It was pretty fire.
Sick. Well, congratulations, man. Like, excited for your music. Excited to see you live. You guys be sure to check out Sueco The Child. Debut album is out now. It's called
Miscreant.
Thanks for watching on Front Row Live.